Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Today I'm going to be talking about how we are going to plan to get our exotical tax in 2024. So, in 2023, we did a lot of strategizing. We voted on what we are going to class as light skinned on this channel because a lot of people like to tell us things like, oh, well, you're not light skinned, you're not that light skinned. Okay, why don't we let the actual light skins decide? So we voted on that on this channel. So that was awesome. By the way, what we voted on the community page was Fenty shades 390 and above, because the girls on this channel who are those shades and above, those are the girls who tend to have the exact same experiences or the typical light skinned experience where they tend to accuse you of benefiting from colorism, or people go out of their way to put you down. So that was one of the things we accomplished in 2023. Also, the biggest series on my channel in 2023 was the Decentering Men series. So we're going to keep talking about that in 2024 because I feel like 90% of your insecurities as a woman come from the male gaze or comes from men's opinions of you. And so that's why I think it's very important to talk about that topic, because if men didn't exist, colorism wouldn't exist, texturism wouldn't exist, featureism wouldn't exist. And I just feel like a lot of the things that we end up fighting about, it's all based on wanting to get picked or, just kind of centering a relationship. And meanwhile, most of these guys out here, they're over here cheating. They're over here like enjoying when you lower your own standards. So that's what we're going to keep talking about in 2024 is decentering men. Also, I started a new series in 2023, and that is called the Privilege Stacking series. So I've noticed that a lot of other YouTube channels, they tend to focus more on the problems that are faced in like the Black community or whatever. And my channel, it is meant to be solution focused. So yes, we can talk about the issues that we go through or like kind of the traumas that come with having pretty privilege and how people go out of their way to put you down and say you're not that pretty and stuff like that. But I also want to talk about how we can cope with those things in a healthy way and how we can still privilege stack. And by the way, that's just a term that I made up. It basically means stacking whatever advantages you have in life and figuring out a way to get away from these hating ass bitches. Figure out a way to overcome the people who are trying to hold you back as opposed to just letting your self-esteem go down, because that's really what some of these people want. Some people want your self-esteem to be as low as theirs, and I'm tired of seeing pretty girls like having low self-esteem or being treated like trash and being afraid to like embrace who they are. Another thing that I plan to continue talking about in 2024 is I really do feel like using celebrities or celebrity circumstances as examples, that has been really helpful in describing my talking points. Because have you ever noticed that, like, for example, a lot of people, they will call you a colorist if you're a light-skinned woman. They'll call you colorist if you're a dark-skinned Black man. They'll call you colorist if you're like a dark-skinned mixed woman. They'll call people colorist who are not Black. But have you ever noticed how in the Black community, let's say a girl looks like Keke Palmer, or, she's kind of a darker skinned, unambiguous Black woman, and she only dates men who are lighter than her, or she has a history of only dating quote unquote light skins, only dating mixed people, only dating anyone who is light, bright, and damn near white. And I notice we don't keep that same energy for unambiguous Black women in particular. So in 2024, I am going to continue holding the Black women empowerment space accountable for the hypocrisy that I see. And who gon' check me? Something else that I'm going to keep talking about in 2024 is the concept of radical self-love, because I've noticed that if you have any semblance of confidence, people automatically take it like, oh, you're cocky, you think you're better than others. And it's like, honestly, I'd rather have people think that I think I'm better than others than have people think that I'm not shit. So you don't have to like me, but you will respect me. And if you don't respect me, that's fine. I will just level up on your ass anyway. That's kind of the talking point that we're going to continue in 2024. Because I've noticed that a lot of other people, they want to police your identity. They want to tell you what your skin tone is, what your hair texture is. They want to argue back and forth about who you are. But I've noticed that people don't keep that same energy with someone that they think is ugly. They don't keep that same energy with someone that they think is beneath them. They only argue back and forth with someone who they feel is more attractive than them, or someone who they feel is more socially privileged than them. So we're going to continue this path of radical self-love. We're going to continue to embrace our own community, and I'm going to keep being generous with my block button and with my ban button. So anyone who comes onto this channel and they try to argue with the Exoticals, they try to argue with you guys in the comment section, definitely let me know. The moderators have been doing a great job of deleting and removing people from the channel who are like not supporters or people who want to come in and try to infiltrate this space. They want me to change my talking points, or they just want me to kind of devalue our experiences. And no, we've already had that happen for long enough. We've already been silent long enough. So now it's our turn to speak up about our experiences, and this channel is really for those who are not unambiguous, dark-skinned, monoracial black women. So I created the term MLS because it was just the fastest thing I could think of when I started the channel. It means mixed race of any complexion or light-skinned, monoracial. But really this channel is for people who are mixed race or people who look mixed. So I'm talking about the people who have a mix of both black and non-black features. Let's not pretend like we don't know what a black person looks like. I've noticed that anytime you do not fit the stereotype of what an unambiguous black person looks like, people will accuse you of benefiting from featureism, texturism, colorism, etc. And so anyway, that's what this community is going to continue to be for in 2024. It's for all of the women who feel like they don't quite fit in with the experiences that they talk about on Black women empowerment channels. Like, for example, for me, I've never had anybody say like, oh, you're too dark or whatever. I've never been called dark skinned in my life. I've never had anybody, make these types of comments that we hear about on the Black women empowerment channels. And I know that a lot of other mixed race women can relate. I know that a lot of other light-skinned women can relate to that. So we're going to keep on dominating our space here in these YouTube streets. But is there anything else that you guys want to talk about in 2024? Is there anything else you guys want to focus on? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.